Right friends, welcome back to mini capsule, and this is with regard to editorial in The Hindu with regard to alarming MDR-TB and XDR-TB, and in this context we produced a detailed module. Please look into this. TB by 2025 we presented detailed capsule for 14th week. It covered extensively various aspects pertaining to tuberculosis, drug resistant tuberculosis, and I would like to go through some of these slides. And today's editorial points to increasing cases of MDR-TB as well as extensively drug resistant TB. That is one aspect. And a second important aspect which is evident from Lancet magazine is the transmission mechanism is also changing. So I would like to throw some light on that. And before going ahead, please look into this picture and at the same time look at the facts. India shares 27% of global tuberculosis burden, and the important point to note is only 58% of them are notified, and every year 5 lakh patients die because of this disease. Right? Please go through the remaining things because we deliberated during 14th week. So the basic requirement to have more immunity in the body is taking balanced diet of cereals, proteins, vitamins and minerals. And please don't forget, vitamins and minerals put together are known as micronutrients, and lack of micronutrients in the diet is also known as hidden hunger, right? And tuberculosis, we learned it is due to infectious bacterial disease and caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and it can affect any organ of the body, but mostly it affects the lungs. And what is MDR-TB? What is XDR-TB? MDR-TB is multi-drug resistant TB. This does not respond to at least isoniazid and rifampicin, the two most powerful anti-TB drugs. So more than one most powerful anti-TB drugs, if it does not respond minimum 2, that means it does not respond to at least isoniazid and rifampicin, the two most powerful anti-TB drugs. And if you look at extensively drug resistant TB, it is a severe form of multi-drug resistant TB with additional resistance and to any of the 3 second line injectables, right? And let us come back to the news report. The news report as per the Lancet magazine. You may have a doubt what is Lancet. Lancet is the prestigious medical journal, and it is a peer-reviewed medical journal published from United Kingdom, and it was established in the first half of 19th century. And here the news report says India sets the ambitious target of elimination of tuberculosis by 2025, but the Lancet study says that it is going to be gloomy picture by 2040. The report says by 2040, 1 in 10 cases could be drug resistant. Right? We have just now discussed, but this definition I have taken from the Hindu editorial. MDR-TB, it is resistant to more than one of the first line drugs. I have already told you 2 first line drugs. Then it is also resistant. That means I am talking about XDR-TB. It is also resistant to fluoroquinolones and at least one of the second line injectable drugs. The meaning is it is resistant to MDR, or you can say in addition to the resistance because of which it is classified as MDR-TB, plus it is also resistant to best second line drugs, right? Then here why the normal tuberculosis turns into MDR-TB and XDR-TB, we have discussed in that lecture. There are 3-4 reasons. When people do not take their TB medicine regularly or leave in between. Second point is when people do not take all the combination drugs prescribed by the doctor. Then one more point is when a person spent some time with someone known to have MDR-TB or XDR-TB. Then one more point is relapse of TB. TB, if it recurs once again, that may become MDR-TB or XDR-TB. And one more point is the spread of this disease is also due to migration of people. This we have learnt in the previous class. And now see the change in recent times as per the Lancet report. We have discussed this MDR-TB or XDR-TB can develop in number of ways. Out of number of ways, if you narrow them down, basically there are two things. One is due to direct transmission from infected people to others. One person is infected with MDR-TB and XDR-TB, and from that person it gets infected by other person. So it is a transmission from one person to other person. So this is increasing. So transmission from one person to other person is increasing, and due to strains acquiring resistance to TB drugs due to inadequate treatment or discontinuation of treatment midway, in fact this is reducing, and in future this will increase. So the point to note is here the transmission of MDR-TB and XDR-TB is increasing from one person to other person in comparison to the resistance to strain developed by the person himself. So this is the more dangerous trend as per Lancet. And going ahead, MDR-TB cases a year in India will touch 12.4% by 2040. It is still more alarming if you look at XDR-TB. The incident cases will rise to 8.9% from 0.9% in 2000. So here what happens? Another important aspect is in 2015, 4 countries including India accounted for about 40% of all drug resistant TB cases in the world. And we discussed in the last class what needs to be done. First of all, the capacity of public sector is to be augmented, and government must engage aggressively with the private sector for case notification, and for early detection CB-NAT machines must be available. Diagnosis for multi-drug resistant TB cases must be expedited, and new drugs like bedaquiline must be made universal. At present, this drug is available only at 6 centers in the country, and the other drug Delamanid must also be approved as early as possible. Then case finding is already part of revised National Tuberculosis Control Program, and it is to be ensured 100%. So like that we have discussed number of issues which needs to be done, and as per today's editorial it has thrown some additional aspects. India is targeting early diagnosis and treatment of those affected with the disease, and here India's TB control program has identified enhanced interventions to break the transmission cycle of bacteria in the community. And here as per the program, contact screening of family members and preventive treatment of all children below the age of 5 which has not developed the disease are part of this revised National Tuberculosis Control Program, and these must be implemented. In the previous lecture, we deliberated about various points, what needs to be done to eliminate TB by 2025, and these points are additional to what we have touched upon in the previous lecture. So here contact screening and preventive treatment of the children below the age of 5 must be implemented without any lacunae, and at the same time developing more accurate, cheaper and effective diagnostic tests and improved treatment regimens that are less expensive and of shorter duration will go a long way in winning the war against the disease. So it appears that there is remote possibility of eliminating the disease by 2025, and Lancet magazine shows some alarming picture as far as MDR-TB and XDR-TB is concerned. And in fact, today's editorial has not got many additional points in comparison to what we have covered as a separate capsule for 14th week. So most important is 14th week separate capsule. Please view carefully. That is most important as far as this elimination of TB by 2025 is concerned. Right friends, have a nice day. Thank you.